Hi, this is RGK. Today I'll talk about a good point-and-click game, Tsioque. We play as a little princess imprisoned by an evil wizard while her mother the queen was away fighting a phoenix. Playing as a princess is a nice change from the usual fairy tales about a knight tasked to save the princess, and has a refreshing effect on some of the puzzles, although the little princess will occasionally use weapons such as a mace. In my previous video I said that to me game mechanics matter more than the story, but point-and-click games are sort of the opposite. Their gameplay is usually very basic, that's the name of the genre. Still, the way progression and puzzles have been designed is very important, and if they are not logical or straightforward, then it can become hard to enjoy the rest of the game. Tsioque handles the puzzles very well overall. Objectives are mostly intuitive, and I rarely got stuck without knowing what to do. I only regretted a few specific moments, such as when I didn't see the kitchen entrance, the sequence with the cat and the crow that was a bit confusing, the mirror that was hard to use, and one puzzle requiring gloves right after I had the reflex to store them on the mannequin. It's relatively minor in the 3 hours that it takes to complete the game. The start is linear, and then once I accessed the courtyard of the castle, it became a hub, leading me to lots of small areas to explore. As expected, it calls for some backtracking between the areas, and it could be uncomfortable with the slow movement speed of the princess, but the distances are short and travel time doesn't become frustrating. Although it's impossible to cancel an animation that was started because it was made for the Flash engine, which is not very flexible. Going back to the hub, it's well presented and the idea is neat, but it sometimes hurts a little bit the flow of progress. So overall, a few little nitpicks, but that goes with the property. It's hard to have flawless point-and-click games. The graphics are pretty much like an animated cartoon, and there are many short animated cutscenes. It reminded me of Dragon's Lair, especially considering that there are a few quick-time events in which you die if you don't trigger a specific action at the right moment. I only regret that the movements sometimes don't seem too smooth, as if a few frames were missing here and there. And the princess is sometimes cute, sometimes weirdly ugly with 2 big bulgy eyes and crooked ears when she gets arrested. The story is sometimes told through a fairy tales book, but for the rest of the game it's without words, letting the game tell most of its story through its animations. There is humor, mostly visual comedy, but I didn't find anything hilarious. Despite this, most of the game feels original and will stay in my memory. I enjoy particularly the various monster sequences, and the story of the game became very interesting towards the end. At first there isn't much going on, but towards the end there are some very powerful twists that give you plenty of food for thoughts. For once, I really enjoy this remarkable story. In conclusion, Tsioque is an easy point-and-click game geared towards action. It's almost an interactive animated movie in the service of a sensitive and smart tale. There are a few flaws, but unlike a lot of games in that genre, progress is smooth and logical enough to be enjoyed without becoming frustrating. It sometimes feels like it's a small game that would have benefited from higher production values, but it's still a very charming experience for all ages. Don't hesitate to show it to young kids. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!